In the Pursuit of Truth, Dowley. Chapter 11. College Bound. No prairie fire can destroy the grass. It shoots up again in the spring breeze. Chinese poet by Zhi. The great proletarian cultural revolution finally ended. The proletariat became poorer as the economy was in shambles. The culture was savaged, and the population became less literate. If revolution was meant to be a quick step forward, the result was a giant step backward. The word great was only true for the degree of damage inflicted upon the people and the country, so much so the official description of the so-called Cultural Revolution by the post-1976 Chinese government was, a decade of calamity. Mao's portrait was still hanging on the wall of the Tiananmen Gate, but it was Deng's thinking that was guiding the country. Deng Xiaoping embarked on the road of reform with determination and political skill. He said Mao Zedong thought should be interpreted in its spirit, not by his individual words. He stated intellectuals were part of working people. Virtually all rightists were rehabilitated. Then, without much fanfare, labels of enemy of the state for former landlords and rich peasants were removed. All that happened while Deng was publicly reaffirming the policy of adherences to the four cardinal principles: Socialist Road, People's Democratic Dictatorship, Leadership of Communist Party, and Marxism-Leninism and Mao Zedong thought. Deng was not a theoretician, and slogans were for political expedience, not necessarily what he meant. What truly represented his philosophy was his legendary remark that, "It does not matter whether it is a white cat or yellow cat. It is a good cat, as long as it catches mice." It was about time that the society stopped the obsession of the political colors of the cats, but started encouraging them to catch more mice. For Dr., the high school years and aspiration for a college degree were already a distant memory. Reflecting on the past 10 years, he was only glad that he did not waste any time. Hardship and adversary tempered his character, and the chance of learning and self-enrichment was invaluable. Now he was doing research work. The superior appreciated his talent and work ethic, and co-workers respected him. Mentally he felt quite balanced. By the time colleges formally resumed the entrance examination to enroll full-time students, it was already late 1977. Looking back, China's college admission standards kept changing in synchrony with the ebb and flow of the political movements. Political standards were weighted heavily post-1957 anti-rightist campaign. It was loosened during 1959 to 1962 natural disaster. It had a strong comeback in 1965, and in many places, college exams existed only in name. Then at the onset of Cultural Revolution in 1966, colleges were closed. When they partially reopened later, the entrance exam was formally abandoned, replaced by the official policy of admission by recommendation. Deng's 1977 educational reform was real and radical. The government stunned the public by announcing that as long as the applicant scores on the entrance exam met the mark, they could not be denied admission, with the only exception of those committing criminal offenses. The name entrance exam finally matched the reality. Dr. was an outsider looking in, because only those younger than 30 could apply. Besides, he would not have, even if he could have applied, because that would mean quitting the job that he was fond of. He was really happy for some of his younger co-workers who were given the opportunity. Dr. also had a sense of satisfaction, as he himself felt completely exonerated. JL's comment, as usual, was unusual. Gosh, it took them so many years to finally understand what the Chinese society had figured out since the 6th century. You mean the ancient imperial examinations? Yes, the emperors let all civilians to participate regardless of their family background. There was a pause, then JL looked at Dr. Do you think you will remain as a bystander forever? If those fully accredited colleges open evening courses, would you be interested? I am not sure. It seems I have passed that stage. For Dr. life went on. In addition to the daily translation work and occasional technical exchange with some foreign companies, he was the participant in certain research projects. As if these were not enough to keep him busy, the manager of the personnel department asked him to teach a technical English course within the institute. I know you can do it, she said. Besides, we pay generous allowance, 2 yuan an hour. Since when had material incentive become the tool in the hands of a party official? Dr. said to himself. Was this about seriously applying the socialist doctrine of, to each according his work, or was this the beginning of market-based economy? In either case, this was a change for the better. The manager continued her persuasion. And you will enjoy doing it too. She was right. Dr. liked teaching as much as learning. He would like the interaction with his students. For the moment, it appeared to Dr. that having a formal college degree or the lack of it did not matter to his career. He was recognized for what he was capable of doing, and he was enjoying it. But an unforeseen event was unfolding that would fundamentally change his thinking for good. The Research Institute had an opportunity to send a few of its employees to Switzerland for a year of professional training. Dr. was recommended by his department, and he soon received a notice to report to the study group. He was excited. If there was any new opportunity he would love to have, it was a chance to see the outside world, especially a developed country. Whatever the mission would be, he was confident he would get the job done. He would leave a good impression on the host, and bring the knowledge back home. His mind was at the Alps and his heart was singing Edelweiss. Dr. was more than excited, he was ecstatic. Before he had enough time to warm the seat in the report room, he was summoned to the office of the head of the institute. The director was there, wearing a stern face. With the cigarette still burning between his fingers, he removed the cover of his porcelain teacup and took a sip. It looked that he was searching for words. We have a small quota and many want to go. The party committee has decided to give priorities to those with formal college degree. That was the director who asked Dr. to be the interpreter with a short notice, so Dr. felt there was a sliver of hope, and he was not ready to give up. I am sure I can do as good a job as anyone in this institute. I am familiar with the project, and you know I can speak English and read German. There was no immediate response. The director kept smoking. And I have already reported to the group. Dr. gave a last try to talk him out of it. Sorry, but you are still young and will have future opportunities. Dr. came to the awakening that somehow he was still under the shadow of the past. He left the office and took a deep breath. He had been through really tough tests in the past and knew he could handle this new one as well. This, however, reminded him of what JL said recently. It echoed in his ears. If a fully accredited college opens evening courses, would you be interested? The advertisement was in newspapers, and the night school division of a reputable engineering college in Shanghai started enrolling students. It was offering the same rigorous curriculum of the day school, and the teachers were selected from the entire faculty and were exceedingly experienced. The entrance exams would include mathematics, physics, chemistry, and Chinese, and they were only 10 days away. Dr's heart was pounding. and it was unthinkable that after 15 years he would be seriously planning for college entrance exams again. After all, it was such a long time in between, and he was asking himself, can I still refresh the memories of the details of the subjects and perform well? Do I still possess what it takes to succeed? It was clear to Dr. that he could not afford any more hesitation. Time and tide waited for no man. He quickly sent in the application and started to form a strategy. He ruled out spending any precious time in Chinese in the next few days, because he figured that a little extra preparation would not make a damn bit of difference. Chemistry had been close to him all those years, and he expanded his knowledge base and knew the subject significantly better than the time of his high school graduation. But he needed to make some adjustment to focus on the content required for entrance exam and to have it reorganized in his mind. For math and physics he had to redo the basic drills. There was just no way around that. He dusted off some old reference books and figured how many pages and exercises he had to go through each day. He asked for leave from work and began to implement the plan. A week later, he began to have the feeling that he was ready to go. Those contents of math and physics were like old friends. Once there is a chance to reacquaint them, the old friendship was renewed. The examinations were over. A couple of weeks later, the personnel manager called him into her office. She started by saying, "Sorry to lose you as a teacher for now, because you will be a student in the college." Then she handed him the letter from the college. Attached to the formal notice of admission was a note-size paper with the handwriting of the dean. "Congratulations, among nearly 500 applicants, your total score was 359, ranking second." Dr. was college-bound. His employer gave him 1 day off per week to attend the courses that had to be scheduled for the daytime. He took a challenge exam of English to gain the waiver. That gave him a few extra hours a week at his disposal. Still, his routine would be to work during the day and be in school in the evenings, and spend a lot of time on weekends for homework. Thinking of the prospect of such crazy schedule for the next 5 years, he almost regretted the decision. Was it just for a diploma? Or was there more to it? Dr. felt it was like riding on a tiger's back. The only choice was to keep on riding. One Sunday afternoon, he decided to relax by riding his new Forever brand bike around. He saw his neighbor sitting in front of the door, meddling with his bike, which he had assembled by himself. Dr. decided to strike a conversation. "What's up? I got hold of the body, wheels, and handle a week ago. I got the fenders from a second-hand store yesterday. Just had it all assembled and the ride was smooth." "Good for you. It is just like a new bike from the store." "Really? Would you trade yours with mine?" he joked. Dr. laughed, and as he rode away he suddenly realized that his self-study was very much like his neighbor's self-assembled bike. It could be just as functional, but the brand name certainly had the advantage of gaining general acceptance effortlessly. Substance is important, but so is the perception. Well, life was giving Dr. a revelation that a formal college authentication was still worthwhile. His aspiration was like the grass that survived the prairie fire. Now the spring breeze was blowing again.